Okay. I think we're safe.
Okay, nice. Yeah, it sounded normal from my
Great.
end.
Sick. Uh this is a complete and total side note, but like the profile picture I have of you for my context, it's from your wedding and you're like you have a waffle in your right hand and like a sugar cookie in the left.
Correct.
It's so great. I mean, what a
Yeah,
duo.
I actually said it as that. I was like,
Oh yeah,
that
nice.
is, when I saw that picture, I was like, that is phenomenal.
What is it about men when they find like one good picture, it stands the test of time?
Absolutely. And actually, Shelby, I have a picture of her with a cookie in each hand.
Uh
Um, and that's her picture. I think, no, her picture when she calls me is a different one from the wedding. But I use that one for something for her as well. So, and they were both totally candid. Like we were just
yeah.
like walking around with food in our hands.
No, I love it. Dude, how
So,
you doing?
man, I'm good. I'm good. Just doing the dad thing, and it's going well.
Good.
Learning curve for sure, but we're doing it. So
I mean, last call, it was brand new, like a weekend.
yes,
Do you feel any more secure?
yeah, I can change a diaper.
Nice.
Unassisted, usually. Um, I felt really confident in it until a couple nights ago. There was just things kind of went haywire as they do
Sure.
sometimes. And things got a little chaotic at that in the middle of the night diaper change.
Mm,
Got a little wild. So, but besides that, it's been going well.
good.
So yeah, what's going on with you?
My parents were actually just in town. Um, they left this morning.
Okay.
So like over 4th of July weekend, they were just here, we're hanging out. I actually did something I never ever thought I would do, and that is
Ooh.
I did some work on my car. Um, I'm not a person who works with their hands well, uh,
Okay.
but like 4 or 5 years ago when I got my current car, which is a Toyota Corolla, me and uh my ex brother-in-law, like he did the brake job and I was assisting him pretty much loosely, I would say.
Yeah.
Um Between like that experience watching firsthand and just like YouTube videos, I was like, you know what? I can change my own brakes, just the front too.
Yeah.
And it was the worst idea I could ever have because it was the hottest and most humid day of all time. And I started early. I started at like 7 a.m. I was like, you know what? Let me just get out here. Hopefully I'll be done by like 10, 10:30. Just the rest of the day I'm chilling. That was not the case. It was just much more difficult. And like, of course, I didn't know what I was doing to begin with.
Right.
But just like things weren't coming off and just like I had jacked at the wrong place to begin with and just like things were taking twice as long as I expected. Thank God there was a guy who just like was coming to fix someone's AC in my unit. And he was like, I'm a lifelong mechanic. What are you working on? I was like, I'm doing a brake job. I don't really know what I'm doing at this point. And he was like, it looks like you're doing everything right. Just like you're just sticking the brake pads in at this point. And I go to do the ones in the back, which are of course harder to reach. And like I stabbed
Right.
myself in the finger. Uh,
Yep.
that wasn't great. Um, yeah, just needed a little some tips along the way. So like the first tire took like 4 hours.
Yeah.
The second one took like 45 minutes because like I was in the
Yeah.
groove. But I
That's
was just
incredible, dude.
exhausted. And then the next day tried to do some more work. Stuff didn't happen as planned. So like I kind of did some stuff, I fiddled with it to come back to the next day. And then that final day, everything was done. So it was just like I'm proud that I accomplished it in the end, but good lord, I hate every minute that I've been outside trying to do this. But I only did it because my parents were in town. And I was like, hey, if I need an extra part or something, which I
Right.
did, I'm gonna need someone to go to the store and grab it, which thankfully they were able to do that.
Nice. Yeah, I listened to the last episode with your mom,
Hmm.
and I was so tickled at her reaction. Like when you said you were going to work on your car, you was just like silence and then a giggle.
Yep.
Yeah, bro. We talked about it last time we talked, but yeah, I don't know a lot about cars. Maybe more than just the average that knows nothing. Only because my dad was a mechanic
Hmm.
before he. Well, when I was born, he was still a full time mechanic, and so I mean he knows a lot. So I mean, I guess I gained a little bit of knowledge here and there, but not enough to like do things by myself. Like I might can help him,
Yeah.
but just one thing that I do know is that it's always, even for mechanics, it's always harder than you think it's going to be.
Yes.
It's
Oh,
not going to go the way you plan it
y-
ever.
yeah. Yeah. It
I
was.
mean,
Oh.
just I know how to change my own oil,
Hmm.
and I do sometimes. Um, I'm doing it less and less now because it's so inconvenient.
Yeah. Totally.
Because I need ramps or a jack or something or
Yep.
ramps to drive up on, and my dad has them, but it's very out of the way to drive to his house just for that.
Yeah.
And then finding the time to go do that, and then I still have to buy my own oil. It's really not saving me that much money,
Yeah.
but
Exactly.
that being said, I have, including my wife's vehicle, three different vehicles that I've had to get under and go, okay, what are we working with? And like something as simple as changing your oil. When I got my current car, I drove it on the ramps and got under there and was like, I don't know where the oil filter is because they
Yeah.
all look different. I
Yeah.
literally had to Google, where's it at?
Oh, yeah. No shame
And
in that.
yeah, and it was because, and it was funny, my dad looked at it later and he was like, I would have had trouble finding that because there was like this cap thing that was over it that you have to loosen. It was like hidden. So
Hmm.
yeah, you're like, okay, I'm just gonna change the oil. It's no problem. And then you get under there and you're like, well, now it took 3 hours. Like,
Exactly.
dang.
Yeah. I will say, even though this weekend was incredibly difficult and I hated basically every moment of it, my dream car right now is like a 1996 to 99 old Toyota RAV4. Uh,
Yes.
right. And I'm not afraid of getting a fixer upper. So, like, this would
Okay.
be a full send into, okay, I'm a person who works on at least my own car. I'm fully aware that this is a 30-year-old vehicle. If there's any problems, I will be fixing it because, like, it's not worth taking it somewhere to fix.
Right.
Um, so, like, if I do that, I'm fully committing. And after this weekend, I don't know. I might want to reconsider.
So that should be just one like generation before the one I had.
Yes. Uh huh.
For so many years. Bro, that I drove that car until I became a chiropractor.
Oh wow.
And right around the time I started practice, I bought a 2018 Camry
Sick.
and loved it, still love it. It's Shelby's car now. Pretty
Yeah.
much right when we got married. She was driving a car that was kind of old and struggling that her grandparents had bought her. And I said, as soon as we get married, that car's gonna die. As soon as like we have to be adults,
Right.
um, that car's gonna die, and it did. So like a few months in, she then took over driving that, and my parents luckily had a spare. They had an extra vehicle that I drove for a little while until I bought something. But
Nice.
um, yeah, loved the Camry. But my dad, they owned the Rav4 anyway. I was just
Mhm.
talking to somebody about this the other day. He drove it for a little while, just kind of as a work vehicle, um, just to help. it got better gas. He has a Jeep,
Yeah.
and so it got better gas mileage. And so they got ready to get my mom a new car. And I mean, this was back. This would have been in probably 2021, maybe 22.
Okay.
And he he went with my mom's current vehicle at the time to trade it in at the place he bought it, and the trade-in value that they offered him was terrible.
Hmm.
Um, he just felt like that was so not what it was worth. Come to find out, that particular vehicle just has horrible resale value. It was in
Oh.
great shape. One owner bought it from them, but they just don't resell well. So anyway, he moves on. He's thinking about what to do, and he ends up going to another dealership to try to get a trade-in value. And I don't remember how it all worked out, but he ended up trading in that RAV4 like spur of the moment instead of my mom's old car.
Oh wow.
um, because the resale on those
Oh yeah,
is
totally.
fantastic. And I didn't even know it was happening until afterwards. I was like,
Mm.
man, that car was a big part of my life. And I didn't get to say goodbye.
Yeah. Did you at
So
least grab the R&B CDs out of there that I made?
oh yes, I
Of
still
course,
have
yeah.
those and listened to them not too long ago.
Amazing.
So my dream car was a Toyota FJ Cruiser.
Oh my
Love them.
gosh. Oof.
And I was I had wanted one for years and years and years. So when Shelby took over driving the Camry, I drove my parents' spare car for like 6 months. Was kind of trying to decide what I wanted to buy. I was kind of keeping an eye out for an FJ. Really didn't think it would happen, but I did end up buying one. I've had it
Sick.
almost 3 years now. It's green. I love it.
Oh, the
Um,
green is everything.
yes, I love it. Um, just absolutely love it. Well, then last year, I was kind of toying around with selling it. It was a terrible idea. I feel guilty for even considering it. But I decided to get a spare,
Mm.
kind of a work car,
Yeah.
just because I felt like I was racking up so many miles because we live in Lincoln.
Oh yeah, yeah.
A lot of interstate driving, just racking up the miles um, on the FJ that's a 2010. So I ended up buying a 2010 Camry as well.
Okay. There you
So we
go.
have two Camrys,
I love it.
and I drive that 2010 Camry most of the time. And so it's cool though because now like it brings back the wonder of the
Mm.
FJ. When I drive it, it just feels
Yes.
like the treat because I drive it 1 to 2 times a week usually.
Yeah.
Um, but we're Toyota people.
No, so am I. I mean, I've got a Corolla. I want the RAV4. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and I mean I knew I liked Toyota anyway, but apparently that's our thing. Apparently
Yeah.
we're gonna stick with it. We toyed with getting a newer Rav4
Yeah.
for show. So last year, well around about the time she got pregnant, I said, well, I could
Mm.
sell my Camry and the FJ, drive the newer Camry, hers, and get her a Rav4. So we thought about doing that. But she was like, honestly, I'm just having one kid. Like, it's okay. I don't need a
Sure.
I don't have to have an SUV right now. I'm cool with my car. So we kept it like it was. There's a lot of value in not having that new car payment. So
Yeah, for sure. Any other fun updated baby stories?
um if I sat here and thought long enough, I'm sure I could come up with some, but
It's
man,
fun.
it's all a blur.
Yeah.
Um it's just insane like that she's already over a month old. And you know, I look at her and I'm like, well, she still looks like a newborn. She hasn't changed that much
Yeah.
since she's been born. but then you look back at a picture from when she was born, and it's like, oh my gosh, how is this baby growing so quickly? She looks to me. I see the biggest difference in her car seat.
Oh.
When we brought her home from the hospital, I mean, we were worried like, is she too small for this car seat? She
Oh.
just looked so tiny, and like we just really didn't feel good about it. And I mean, it comes with like a newborn insert for for the little bitty small newborns, but she still looked so tiny in it.
Mm.
And now, I mean, she's filling it out.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, like why am I so emotional
Yeah.
about how you look in the car seat?
Yeah.
She's really entering. I really feel like we're about to get to some of the fun. She is just on the cusp of like really smiling,
Yeah.
and that's what I've been waiting on. I'm so ready because early on you get a smile every now and then, but it's not a real smile. It's usually gas,
Sure.
and their face looks like they're smiling. Um, but just here the last couple days, I'll catch her. I'm like, that was a real smile.
Mm.
And I really think they're about to, because they say they start socially smiling anywhere around 6 weeks to, it could be 6 weeks or it could be a little later. So I think we're really on the verge of it. And that's what I've been waiting on. Like, I'm so excited for her to respond to something that I'm doing or my presence with a smile. I'll melt. I'll be useless.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good update.
Yeah.
I know not last time, but time before that, we had talked about your faith journey, and we left it kind of with the cliffhanger of like, okay, I'll get into mine next time, and then we didn't do
Yeah.
that, but for good reason. Like you had just become a dad, that was more important to talk about. We could get back into that if you wanted to, or could pivot to something else.
No, I'm totally down. I'm ready. I've been waiting on this. I've actually got a little feedback from the episode where I talked about mine. We
Oh,
do have listeners.
we do.
We do.
That's crazy.
Right? So my dad
Oh yeah, yeah, that counts.
actually, like, he basically texted me one day talking about. He said, so I was listening to a podcast today, which was already strange. What do you mean you were listening to a podcast?
Who are
He
you?
said, and they said something about blah, blah, blah. I thought it was a good thought. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's great. I love that. He was like, I think
Amazing.
it was called, um, I don't even remember. Oh, faith question mark. And anyway, the way my dad texts sometimes,
Mm, hey, say
it's just
less.
kind of hard to decipher. It
Yeah.
took me like a solid 15 minutes to realize he was talking about our podcast.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, you listen to that.
That's
And,
amazing.
um, and someone else had sent it to him
Oh, nice.
to listen to.
That's two
And I had
people.
an idea who that was, and they later confirmed it.
Okay. Okay.
We have listeners.
Now look at us. We made it.
Shout out to the fans.
Oh, it's gross. Um,
It's only
gosh,
gross if we're being serious, and
that's
there's
true.
actually a bunch of fans.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out where do I start here. Because goodness, there's so much, and I don't even know. I haven't thought about this at all. Like
Okay,
this is
love
as
it.
raw as it gets.
I love it.
Uh, I guess I'll start kind of just like beginnings. Like my family moved around a lot for our
Hmm.
fans listening who don't know. Uh, so like we'd always find a new church. Most of the churches we went to were like Baptist churches, whether predominantly white or predominantly black. So like the general uh what's the denominational teaching felt the same.
Right.
I mean, I was a kid. I mean, not that we were getting in depth, but we had Awana, we had some sort of youth group thing. It
Yeah.
all felt very similar. My parents, uh, very religious people. Uh, So like we get to Alabama when I'm like 12, and we start going to Harvest, which was a Pentecostal church, not a Baptist church.
Yeah.
So that was a slightly different. Like it was as there was as much expression as I had seen in like black churches, but like of course you add, well, not of course, for people who don't know, uh there's some spiritual giftings that Pentecostals believe and use that most other Baptist churches don't. So
Right.
seeing those on display, that was different. But none of that was like, oh, this is weird and strange. I don't like it. It was just like, okay, this is just another
So did you
thing.
are you saying it was more expressive at
Not
Harvest
more,
or
no, not more expressive than like a black church was,
right?
but
Okay, so less than maybe some of your Baptist churches?
uh, not the white ones.
Okay, yeah,
I feel
for
like
sure.
yeah, it wasn't abnormal when I got to Harvest and saw that people
Right.
were doing things charismatically.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so like I join my church's youth band, like I'm singing. This is like modern worship stuff at the time, like early Bethel music and early Elevation, Hillsong, like Live and United were the kings of Christian worship music at the time. So just like falling in love with that genre of music. And of course, I ended up working in the music industry. All that stuff was pivotal for me.
Yeah.
Um, really finding my way in that. I wouldn't say it was probably until like I was a teenager, like me, Gamble, and Parker Jones were like 14, 15. We really started hanging out a lot, and it really became like centered around like Christian stuff. So like we'd have our own Bible study, just like the three of us, or just like
Yeah.
me and John would write songs that he ended up putting out as a teenager, and they were like CCM worship stuff. So like it was a lot of hanging out centered around like something Christian. So I felt like, okay, I think I'm kind of like defining my own faith. Like my parents have done a great job raising me with the baseline, but like now I'm kind of finding my own thing and reaching out, and I feel safe among the people that I'm figuring all this out with. And I think
Yeah.
that was very, very helpful. Even though a lot of people didn't look like me, I was still one of the few black people around. And that's just the demographic
Right.
of where we grew up. Um,
Right.
I felt safe, uh, which is just such a blessing. I love that. Uh, High school age, I start dealing with a lot of like anxiety, depression stuff, just kind of out of nowhere. Like I don't know what the impetus was or what triggered it to begin with, but it was always a thorn in my side of just like I'm just having all these very strange and random feelings of just like dread and
Yeah.
anxiety. Where is this going? And like I would cry out to God, just be like, yo, like this is crazy. Like, what do I do with this? Where are you? Um,
Yeah.
Even in those cries, like I knew he was real. I knew he was there. I felt like he was close to me and I could talk to him. Um, I felt like I saw him move, like whether in a service or just like uh in an interaction. Like he was there with me and for the people I was around. And I was doing my best to be an example of him. Um, and that felt good. But like the nagging thorn of just like that anxiety, depression thing, the thing that felt like very um simple and easy for God to just take away.
Yeah.
Uh just being there for years was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like, God, where are you? I
And you
think
know
oh, sorry, go ahead.
the thing about anxiety and depression like that too is your friends, if they've if they haven't dealt with it,
Mm,
they have zero categories for that. They don't know
yep.
how to help you. They don't know what you're going through at all. And I say that I was your friend at the time and knew nothing of it.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't know it until later in life. Mine came later, but that can be super difficult. Like just navigating it because you're walking around like all these people just seem real happy and they're real chill.
Mm, preach.
And like I don't know why I can't just be calm like that.
Yes.
calm and chill and content and not anxious. Um, yeah, that is real.
Yeah, I would say that that is for sure one of the pieces that led me to like shift my faith in a major way, which we'll get to a little bit here in the story. So like dealing with that pretty much starting at like 14, maybe 15, probably the heaviest years were like 14 to 19. So like we graduate high school, I'm 18, I move out to Jacksonville with you and the other guys.
Hmm.
Um, Not really going to church because like I mean, I just felt the freedom of like, okay, for the first time, I don't have to go. Like, I'm
Right,
not living with
right.
my parents; they're not forcing me to go. I think I just want to take some Sundays off. Eventually, started going to Church of the Highlands up in Gadsden because like they were just starting a campus, and Parker was already gone by that time. He was at Highlands College, and he was like, "Yo, I think you'd really like if you go to the Gadsden one. Like, they're doing good stuff over here." So like, okay, yeah, I'll go. I
Yeah,
went. I enjoyed it. I joined the like a volunteer worship thing just as a singer because like I loved singing and I missed having an outlet of people singing together in unity for something.
yeah,
So that was fun. But like I still just like felt a little burnt out of the idea of asking God to remove this thing and he didn't do it for whatever reason. So over the years, just eroding the idea of like God is real. He's out there. He's willing to help you if you just ask. I had been asking and like wasn't getting relief. What the heck is that all about?
yeah,
So I move out of the Jacksonville house. I transfer over to Lee. And Lee is not technically like a school officially affiliated with the Church of God. I don't believe, but it pretty much is because
right.
Church of God offices are right around the corner from the college.
Uh-huh.
So like I get there and it's the vibe is very similar to what I grew up in Harvest. It's just like, okay, yeah, I know this deal. But by that time, I'd call myself a skeptic. I'm like, bro, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
And to your point of just like dealing with something in isolation, I really felt like, oh man, everyone else around me looks like they know what they're talking about, like faith wise, and just like
yeah,
in school. I was struggling in school as a student. Like everyone else around me is doing so well, and I'm struggling. What's wrong with me? Which I think just further put me into isolation. It was just a vicious cycle of like, I'm not enough. Everyone else around me seems like they are. What's wrong with me? Um, Thankfully, my girlfriend who became my wife, who's now my ex-wife, she was there at the time as well, and was
yeah,
kind of dealing with the same spiritual roadmap. Like,
right,
had begun having her own doubts about stuff. Um, we like would just commiserate with each other and just be like, "How are we feeling about all this?" And we were both like not feeling it at the same time. So having someone to talk about that stuff with was the saving grace of just like maybe we're not crazy. Like maybe we should just like take a break from going to church on Sundays and just like see how that goes. And didn't really go for like the 2.5 years we were there together. And I don't think she went the year that I wasn't there. So it was just like, okay, we've got each other relationally and spiritually. We'll be all right. Fast
yeah,
forward a little bit more. Like we move here to Middle Tennessee area. Um, and like we had tried a couple churches, something that both of us were very um passionate about was like we want to find somewhere that feels inclusive and diverse. Like that
yeah,
was very high for both of us. We felt like it was possible, maybe not in uh like Cleveland area, but like surely when
right,
we get to a metropolitan place like Nashville, um that would be attainable. And like there were some that fit those marks, but just the vibes were not all the way there for whatever reason. And I kind of hate saying that. No church is perfect. I know that
right.
on
No, I
paper,
get
but
it.
just um, couldn't find the right place for both of us. So we just didn't really go anywhere. Uh, and it was amazing. I think that's the
Yeah,
point that's um, sometimes can be lost on people's stories. Like I cannot say enough how much I loved not going anywhere and feeling the
yeah,
freedom to just not go to church and be okay with that
right,
and not feel like, oh shoot, like am I going to hell since I'm not literally plugged into a place on Sunday morning. It's like, I don't think so. I
Right.
think
Okay. Yeah.
I needed the break. Um, we needed the break together. I don't know. Again, fast forward. Well, hold on. During this time, I never felt like I wouldn't call myself Christian anymore. Like I still felt like that was genuinely rooted inside of me. And I had seen and experienced enough stuff on my own to be like, God is real. I've seen him move, I've seen him work. I'm continuing to see that he's out there. And like, I want to be around him, but just like being in the church is difficult. Ooh, another
Yeah.
piece that I almost forgot. Um, uh, Speaking kind of into the inclusion and diversity thing that was so important for us. For me personally, and I don't know how you feel about all this, but a sense of betrayal that I felt from the, I guess, the little C church. I don't know. I'm bad with the little and the big C.
Yeah.
Um, was just like seeing their actions in the like the 2016 election, the first Donald Trump election. I mean, not that well, it's there have been many things that happened since he won, but just like to me, seeing people who I thought were trustworthy, people that I grew up with, um, side with the person who had done and said many things, and to me, the fruit wasn't appearing pleasing of what he was doing, but he would call himself Christian and say he's doing things in the name of Christianity. That didn't sit right with me. So I was like, can I trust these people? I don't
Yeah.
know. That
You
so
know,
that yeah,
um I'm not a political guy at all. Um and the problem with me is never either way who someone votes for. That's fine. You have to make that decision on your own. But the problem is, yes, trying to label someone as I'm voting for them because they're a Christian or whatever. Because frankly, I don't feel like there's been a follower of Jesus in politics in a very long time.
mm,
So I'm kind of on the side of just leaving that out of it
sure,
because I don't really think any of them show any fruit of being a genuine Christian. It does rub me the wrong way when I don't know, I feel like I'm being patronized
mm,
um, when someone tries to do something in the name of Christianity in politics because I feel like it's a ploy for votes.
hmm,
Um, and it kind of makes me feel like that someone thinks that I'm ignorant to what they're doing.
sure, yeah,
And so to me, you know, vote for who you ever think is the best person for the job, but let's not hold any of them on either side up as the savior
yeah, totally,
because they're not that. Hopefully, they will help our economy or whatever for the next 4 years. But let's have that conversation. But I mean, the fact of the matter is, none of this political structure or even America in general, what wasn't in the Bible,
yeah,
and so I don't know. Sometimes I just want to say, can we just calm down about that?
sure,
And yeah, especially you know where we live,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
really big. And again, I guess I'm I guess I'm at a disadvantage too because I'm just not a political guy,
hmm,
and a lot of it just kind of makes me roll my eyes. Um, but yes, it's extremely. It hurts my heart to see how some people act about I'll say it this way because I'm not political, so I try to tread very lightly if I ever do say anything about it.
yeah,
Even if you vote for a person, don't don't be so outspoken about the controversy surrounding them that you can oppress or hurt your brothers and sisters that don't hold the same political views.
Yeah.
But if you're following the same Jesus, why can't you? Why are you screaming so loud about the politics? And now I don't know that you felt that. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? You're like, I can't even have fellowship with these other followers of Jesus because it seems like most of their thoughts and actions and agendas are all really more about politics, and I
Mm.
actually don't agree with their politics,
Yeah,
and
totally.
that's an issue because that really shouldn't be part of what we're doing as believers anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
I I tell people all the time, some of my best friends, I don't know who they vote for.
Yeah.
They don't know who I vote for, and I really don't care.
Mhm.
I, that's not why I'm friends with them. Um, so that's how I've always kind of approached it, and there's something to be said about finding the right church for you too. Y'all were looking for diversity and inclusion, and you know, there's my church that I still go to. Do we welcome diversity? Of course. Everyone is welcome, to come to our church, and we're gonna love on folks. But that being said, we're not that diverse
Sure.
because that's just the demographic of people that come.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we're still not a very diverse church. Um, Most of us do look the same there, and it it's not because that's necessarily what anybody wants or is trying for. Um, it's just kind of the way it ends up, and a lot of that is because most of our community looks the same.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
So,
the joke I was making as a middle schooler is if I ever write a book, it'll be called The Only Brother because I'm the only brother around here.
I mean, Brother White was in the name
Uh,
of the school.
exactly. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I mean, to your point, gosh, I wish it were that simple. I
Yes,
wish at
me
least
too.
people would consider your points. But yeah, for me, it felt like another kind of point of betrayal. And of course, this is all anecdotal. Like no one was out to get me, but like uh having the years and years of God not delivering me from the anxiety and depression I was feeling, uh kind of feeling bamboozled of like, oh, like the people who I thought were for me are cheering for the idea of like ridding themselves of minorities. I,
Right,
I've always been a minority. Like, how do you feel about
right.
me?
Yeah, of
Um, so yeah, just another piece of betrayal that just like eroded a bit of the foundation of faith that I had at the moment.
course.
So yeah, coming back to me and Xana in Nashville, just not going anywhere. But yeah, me still feeling like I call myself Christian. Um, I had wanted to try some other places. Like there was a, oh shoot, I don't remember what type of church it was, but like a mostly black church that I wanted to try. I think we went maybe once and just wasn't feeling the vibe. Um, Fast forward a whole bunch to us getting divorced. And then like during that heavy season, I really felt like, man, I want to go back to church again. I just want to try it. And been feeling it maybe a year beforehand. And I think I brought it up to Xana, but like at that point, they would have said like they're no longer Christian. And like I completely understood. Like I was alongside her for most of the events that led her to
Yeah,
that decision.
yeah.
Um, and no shame. And like I didn't feel as the Bible would say, unequally yoked either. Of just like,
Right.
bro, like I'm with you. Like I hate that for you. And I'm still on the team, but like I get
Yeah.
it. So like I had been wanting to go and then we get divorced and like I'm like, okay, let me just try it. So I started going to an Episcopal church. because I just couldn't do the big production of like a Western evangelical thing even anymore.
Yes.
It's just like it feels like a show, and like worship music makes me anxious now. Like I can't be
Whew.
around any of that. Let me just
Yeah,
go sing some hymns and, and just like sit. Um
brother,
Episcopal churches, yeah.
we could talk about that for a while.
Episcopal churches are traditionally like very at least inclusionary, like you were saying, depending on the demographic or where you are, is
Right,
whether they're diverse or not. Which the one I was going to wasn't, but only because like we're in the South. Um
right.
there was maybe like, I don't know, 150 to 250 people who showed up. So like very, very small. Every time I went, uh something spoke to me, whether it was one of the hymns or like the short small message that the priest gives, um or just like one of the set passages that they read that's like on the calendar to read of that time of the year. Like I would leave either crying or like teared up every time. So like
Yeah,
it was speaking to me, it was doing something. The biggest hurdle for me was just going by myself.
yeah,
um just not having the courage, even though it was good for me, just still feeling like not even fully like, oh no, like they're looking at me or I'm an outsider. Like I did feel welcome. It was just I have a problem doing stuff on my own. Just like that's not a thing that's in my brain, that I'm a
of course.
continual self-starter in that way.
Yeah.
Um so now we're kind of getting to me referencing a bunch of stuff that I was talking about in my episode with my friend Steve. Um Steve and he used to work at Centricity where I work now. He had left the company about a year after I had started working there, and we've been having a monthly lunch ever since. So, like for the past 4 years, he's also similar to me, like had his own faith journey and church hurt and whatnot. And he was saying, like, going by himself to the church that he was checking out was the biggest hurdle. I was like, dude, I'll go with you. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it, but just like if I can be a friend to someone in something of this magnitude, I want to be that. I feel like that's what God would do. Um, that's what Jesus would do if he were here right now. He'd be like, "Bro, I'll
Yeah.
sit with you."
Yeah.
So yeah, we just started going and have been going since like the past 3 months. Like I took my parents there this past Sunday. It was a good word. Um, and I feel like I'm just like taking it slow, trying to get back in. Um,
I love it.
I, I don't know if there's. I don't think I'd make any hard statements or stances on anything regarding the faith. Like that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
I know that for me, God is real, and I want to be an example of Him to people. Like I want the fruit to show. I want people to like. I don't want to go around saying, "Hey, I'm a Christian." I want people to be like, "There's something different about that guy," and like, "What do you say about me?" I don't want to
Ooh.
broadcast anything.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's where I'm
Wish
at
there was
right
more
now.
of that.
Yeah,
Um, man, I could probably talk for an hour about because I still lead worship,
yeah, yeah.
and there are times I've told my wife I wish that I could go that we could just take like a year and do every Sunday just straight hymns.
Mm,
No, uh, as I've gotten older and as I've settled more in my faith in recent years, there is something so appealing to me about um, liturgy.
hmm
I mean, it's because it is so strange. I went through a season um, where the dim lights and the stage lights, like if I went to some other conference where I wasn't leading worship, and you know, most of the house lights dimmed, stage lights, loud worship music, loud pads and things. For some reason, very anxiety inducing
Wow.
when I was dealing with a lot of mine, and I have no idea why. And then there's that battle of, does this mean that I'm doing something wrong? Is God
Yes.
trying to speak to me because I'm so uncomfortable in this church setting right now?
Yes. Ooh, preach.
And that was a big hurdle I had to overcome. That while there's nothing wrong with that stuff, that's just a certain culture of church, and that's okay. But that also doesn't, you can follow Jesus without being in that setting.
Yeah.
But because that Western evangelical scene of the CCM music and things is so at the forefront of our culture right now, um, it if you're not careful, you think that's all there is to
Yes.
Christianity. And if I'm not comfortable with that, then I'm not comfortable with Jesus. And that's
Mm,
not okay. But I really had to step back and go, man, there is so much beauty in some of these other cultures that are very liturgical and um, where I grew up in church and where I still go, we are Baptist. I would say we are pretty expressive for Baptists.
sure.
Um, so, I'm still in a lot of that, but again, I have a very big part in planning the set list, the song
Yeah.
list. And I'll say over recent years, we've started working more hymns back in. They never went away for us
Sure.
because my dad is still the minister of music, the worship
Hmm.
pastor. And my dad loves hymns. He loves old things like that anyway. They never went away. Um, but I've been trying to work in more of the great hymns and really focus on, I'll say it this way, growing up as a musician, we loved to do the hymns that were catchy, um,
Yeah.
that were fun, and that's fine. But some of them are pretty shallow theologically,
Mm.
and I, but there are some beautiful hymns, and I don't know. I just again, there's nothing wrong with the scene of the big church with the dim lights and CCM music. That's fine, but I thought, man, I just feel so at peace in a fully lit room singing hymns and thinking about God.
Mm.
Um, and I think there's a place for both. But
I
man,
agree. Yeah.
I that's just so incredible to hear. Like just the different journeys. It's so cool that so many people would have such a tough time stepping away,
Mm.
but not letting that keep them away. It's not an all or nothing type thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I think honestly, stepping away helped me realize that. It's just like almost nothing is black and white.
of
Like
course,
I'm just this is the journey. Um, and it's gonna be hard and there's gonna be so many unknowns, but
that's kind of the point, right?
yeah. And something that I really have taken to heart is just like I do feel like God was there through the whole thing. Sometimes he's sitting with me
Absolutely.
in silence and like sharing in my sadness or in my grief of uh the loss of the faith that I once had,
Yeah,
or in the joy of like going back that first time after 7, 8 years with a
of
friend.
course,
Uh
of course.
it's all been needed.
Yeah, and God's not scared of our questions or our doubts.
Hmm.
Um, he's so much bigger than that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he I just think he brings us back to him, in due time, and the journey looks so much different for everybody. I'm almost to the point now where I get more out of my personal time, studying scripture throughout the week and things than I actually do in a lot of church services because I serve in such a, front and center type way,
Yeah.
that sometimes it's just kind of hard to really, we try, but sometimes it's hard to really just get in that true worshipful place with God and standing on the stage. We try, we're leading
Yeah.
worship, but sometimes that's hard. So when that was kind of the front and the center of my spiritual life, that's tough.
Yeah.
I got to be pouring into it in other ways. Um, but yeah, that I could talk for hours. I wish I could hear everyone's story. Because you
Yeah.
look around, like we said, and you think everyone else has the same story and yours is different from all theirs.
Yep.
They all have the same simple one. Mine's all messy and complicated.
Yeah.
And that's almost never true. Um, when you start, when you sit down, and that should encourage us to just to sit down with people, like have real conversations. And you find out that so many people have had such a broken and messy journey with their faith. And some of them are still sitting in the mess.
Yep.
And some have come out the other side victorious. Some have kind of come out the other side, um, and but they're still sitting there in a loss of faith, and they feel like they've come out the other side. I just personally think that God's big enough to bring them back. Um,
Sure.
but
Yeah. I
awesome.
think, I mean, to your point, I don't feel like I've arrived now that I'm back
Right.
in church.
Of course. Of
But
course.
like,
None of us
especially
have.
like, gosh, whenever like divorce was happening and like I felt so guilty having such a big draw to faith again. I'm just like, okay, here I am, another statistic, another freaking prodigal story, classic. Um,
Yeah.
Thankfully, I shook the shame off of that kind of
Yeah.
quickly. Just like he was always there. Like
Of course.
I just need to find my way, just like figure out faith for myself. Um, there's a there's a song I'm trying to find it right now. Um, I think it's John B. Key. I'm looking at the lyrics. It's called "Life in Favor."
Okay.
Uh, I'm gonna read the lyrics. It's just like you don't know my story. You don't know the things that I've come through. You cannot imagine the pain, the trials I've had to endure. You don't know my story. You don't know the day you set me free. You cannot imagine the strongholds and walls that severed me. And all God has been faithful to me. He promised he would never leave me. My story proves that God can use me. Deliverance is my testimony. You don't know my story. It would blow your mind. You don't know my story. I
Yep.
mean, gosh, the simplicity of gospel music and the togetherness um, of which typically a choir sings it, but like how specific someone can find themselves in that lyric.
Yeah.
God, I freaking love that, man.
For sure. Man, this is God is good.
All the time.
Well, man, I have a baby calling my name. I think it's almost supper time.
Yeah.
So
Well, dude,
I'm gonna go, but I feel like I'm kind of cutting it off abruptly.
no.
But
I mean, I was
we
done.
we got more months, and I'm always down to revisit.
Yeah. I dude. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Have a good rest of your week.
See ya.
See ya.